It's a story we see constantly. A founder gets hit with a flash of inspiration, locks themselves in a room for 6 months, and builds what they are certain is a flawless product, assuming the market will naturally line up to buy it. They sign a lease for an office, order a warehouse full of inventory, and finally open their doors, only to realize nobody actually wants what they made. They spent their capital testing the idea in their own imagination, rather than in the real world. Then you have someone like Daniel Priestley. In a single 12-month stretch, he launched 7 different businesses that all crossed the $1 million revenue mark. Priestley's success is a product of systemic engineering. He follows a scientific approach to business that allows him to treat a new venture like a predictable laboratory experiment. The modern market punishes the secretive genius. The founders who actually survive are the ones who systematically strip the risk out of their ventures by treating every idea as a hypothesis that must be proven. The primary testing mechanism in this playbook is the waiting list. The rule is simple. Do not manufacture a single item or write a line of code until you have data proving the demand for it exists. This illustrates how that mechanism works. You can use AI tools to generate a one-page website in minutes, outline your product, but swap the Buy Now button for a waitlist form to capture hard data on market interest. Elon Musk used this strategy for the Cybertruck. The design was heavily polarizing, so before committing capital to mass manufacturing, Tesla opened a pre-order waitlist to see if buyers would actually put down a $100 deposit. Musk treats this waitlist as his primary compass, applying it even to unconventional side projects like the Boring Company's flamethrower to gauge immediate market interest. If an idea goes live and nobody signs up, you have your answer. Kill the project immediately. Lose a few days, lose $20. It's the perfect kind of failure. Cheap, fast, and highly informative. Executing those tests requires a clear head, but founders regularly sabotage their own data because of what's happening inside their brain chemistry. When cash is tight, the brain slips into reptile mode. This is a primitive biological reaction where your entire focus narrows down to survival, fight, flight, or freeze. To understand the impact of this stress, researchers studied farmers whose income was tied entirely to annual agricultural cycles. They tested the farmers' cognitive abilities during the severe financial strain right before a harvest, and then again right after they were paid. The study found that living in the stress of financial scarcity literally dropped the farmer's IQ by 15 points. Fear traps the brain in a reactive state, blinding people to opportunities that are right in front of them. You cannot build a business from that mindset. A visionary operates from a sense of abundance. Because their baseline is secure, their mind is free to look at the world as a landscape of opportunities, and they are unafraid to ask the world for what they need. When the producers of Top Gun needed authentic hardware, they didn't stress over the budget to build models. They confidently walked into the Pentagon and asked the Navy for access to real, multi-million-dollar fighter jets, and they got them. The survivalist focus of Reptile Mode makes it difficult to recruit. Only by moving into a state of abundance can a founder present the scale of vision required to secure investors and world-class talent. Once a founder finally starts seeing some traction, they run into the most dangerous hurdle of all. Their own ego begins to inflate. To survive this stage, you must internalize a strict rule. Winning is better than being right. The market's data is the objective truth, and your personal assumptions are usually flawed. We see this trait in the highest performers in the world. Michael Jordan reached ultimate dominance by checking his ego and submitting his personal gameplay to Phil Jackson's wider team strategy. Even someone with Elon Musk's ambition had to swallow his pride after his early rockets failed. He admitted he wasn't a trained scientist and stepped back so he could hire the specialized aerospace engineers who actually knew how to get his machines into orbit. Rather than blindly defending an initial idea, a smart founder steps back to identify their own missing skills. If the product isn't moving, you don't argue with the market. You take a course in sales, learn how to negotiate, or improve your public speaking. Whether you are coding a startup or launching a media channel, the process is the same. Act like an objective scientist. Let the bad ideas die fast, prioritize raw market data over your personal ego, and build your empire on reality.